Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls. It's Top 5 Wednesday again, and this week's topic is books you're spoilt for. This one I could see people getting quite angry over. Luckily, we don't tend to get spoilt for much. Like when I spoil books for me, I've done it myself.
Yeah.
I used to have a really bad habit of reading the last page from a monster. And Laura's just on the internet. And just sees things all the time. I'm oblivious. I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, these are the top 5 worst ones that we've been spoilt for.
Also, because we haven't been spoilt that much, we're doing a joint one this week, because I don't think we've been spoilt for 5 different books each. But the first one is my one, and that is 1984 by George Orwell. This is at number 5 because it's like, I can't properly remember the spoiler. At the time, I remember it really upsetting me. But I can't really remember it now. Obviously, I don't want to say and spoil it for you guys, but it was like, I remember a tiny detail of the ending, but I feel like there was a bigger picture that I now can't remember, which is good.
Coming in at number 4 is mine. This has worked out really well.
Yeah.
It's Winger by Andrew Smith. I was just like, I wonder where this is going. So I flicked to the back, and then there was like a tiny chapter of like a big spoiler, and I was like, oh. But then it didn't spoil the book, like its actual reading experience, because it was still so good. But obviously I spoilt the ending, which was a bit of a stupid move. I'm an idiot. I'm going to make enemies with this video. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try and stop doing it. I have stopped doing it now.
The next one is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I think this is one where a lot of people have been spoilt for it, but this is like a joint one. Amy was spoilt again because you hated the book.
So much. I got halfway through and I thought, no, I don't care. So I read a summary and I was like, nah, I still don't care.
Whereas everyone constantly talked about the ending, like, oh my god, the ending. So I'm like, well, something happens along those lines. And then I think it was YouTube comments on like the trailer or a review or something, and someone said, oh, I'm so upset about. So I was like, oh, but I don't really care anymore because I really like Divergent, but I just hear bad things about the rest of the series, and I saw Insurgent, the film, before I had a chance to read it, so I'm like, I'm quite content finishing this series with the films and not the books, so I don't really mind that I've been spoiled. Number 2 is a really recent spoiler for me. It's so annoying. Someone just said it in a BookTube video. They were like, I'm not going to continue with this series because happened and now I'm annoyed. And I was like, it's not been long enough to just like drop a bombshell like that. You have to say spoiler warning, and I would have skipped it because I love Throne of Glass so much. And so yeah, I was spoiled for Queen of Shadows. I don't know, I don't think it's a huge thing, and maybe when I actually get round to it, it'll be obvious anyway, but I just know the kind of direction the story's going in now because of like a thing. And it's really annoying. I'm kind of hoping I'll forget about it by the time I get to Queen of Shadows, because I still need to read Heir of Fire. Really busy with uni reading, so I imagine it won't be like end of summer until I actually get round to Queen of Shadows. So by then I might have forgotten, like I have with 1984, but it's really annoying. So annoying.
And the top spoiler was one of mine. It was Harry Potter. I got spoiled for Harry Potter. I only started reading it when we were in year 11 because I've watched all the films and I was a Harry Potter fan, but I had never read the books. And because Laura and our other best friend said, oh, well, you've got to read the books. You're not allowed to come see part 1 Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows with us. So I'm like, okay. So in a week, I read all the books.
Yeah.
Got halfway through the 7th book and then went to see the film and then finished the 7th book and just lay in a coma, just crying all day. But I knew, obviously, because people have read the books for years before I watched Deathly Hallows, and I knew Harry was a Horcrux. And it's been long enough now.
You can say that without, it's been long enough.
You should know. And I knew that. I was like, well, it's obvious. But for me, because everyone else said it, I was like, oh yeah. But obviously it was a massive spoiler for everyone, and they were like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, well, it makes sense. But I didn't really care at the time. But looking back now, I'm like, I should have hopped on that hype train. I should have really liked Harry Potter reading it as a kid, but I just didn't. But yeah, that was a pretty big spoiler.
So we hope you enjoyed this Top 5 Wednesday, and hopefully we haven't spoilt you for any things. We've been very good with spoilers in this video. I'm quite proud of us because I'm kind of scared to watch other people's in case they say, I was spoilt for this because this person dies. I'm kind of scared to watch other people's, but hopefully everyone will put like a spoiler warning.
So we hope that you never get spoiled. Farewell, BookTube.
Bye.
Bye.